Welcome! Have you ever found yourself wondering, could I be taller? Well, in this explainer, we're going to break down Dr. Eric Berg's advice on how you can potentially maximize your height. We're going to dive right into the science and the real, actionable steps you can take. So let's get into it. Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we'll tackle the big question, can you even grow taller? Then, we'll look under the hood at your body's growth engine. After that, we'll pinpoint the common things that might be holding you back, lay out a clear 5-step plan to get things moving, and finally, we'll wrap up with how to really maximize your potential.
All right, first things first, let's just address the elephant in the room, the one question that's probably on your mind right now.
So, is it actually possible to get taller? According to Dr. Berg, the answer is, surprisingly, yes. But, and you knew there was a but coming, right? It all hinges on a couple of absolutely critical factors.
It really boils down to two things: where you are in life, age-wise, and what you're putting into your body. Think of it like this. Your genetics, they write the blueprint for a skyscraper. But if you only have enough bricks and steel for a 2-story house because of poor nutrition, well, you're never going to reach that full potential.
Now check this out. This timeline shows the most critical windows for growth. From the time you're about 1 until puberty, it's a pretty steady 2 inches a year. But then, bam! Puberty hits, and that growth rate literally doubles to about 4 inches per year. That's a huge surge, but then things slow down, and growth usually stops somewhere between 18 and 20. So if you're still in that window, now is the time to act.
Okay, so let's pop the hood and take a look at the body's internal growth engine. To figure out how to fuel it, we first have to understand the key hormones that make it run.
So it works like a precise chain of command. It all starts up in your brain with the pituitary gland. It releases something called human growth hormone, or HGH. HGH then acts like a messenger, traveling to your liver and telling it, hey, time to get to work. The liver then produces another hormone, IGF-1, and that is the key player that actually tells your bones and tissues to grow.
But it's not just a 2-hormone show. There's another major player in the game, your thyroid gland. If your thyroid hormones are low, that can also put the brakes on growth. It just goes to show you it's a whole system working together, a delicate balance where all the parts have to be in sync.
All right, so now that we know how the engine is supposed to work, let's talk about the things that can throw a wrench in the gears. What's getting in the way and holding you back?
The source points to a whole list of culprits here. Nutrient deficiencies are a big one, especially not getting enough zinc and iodine. But then there are the lifestyle factors: not enough sleep, too much sugar, stress, and so on. But here's a really interesting one: grains. Why? Because they contain these things called phytates, which can actually prevent your body from absorbing the zinc it desperately needs for growth.
And listen, this isn't just theory. Dr. Berg shares this really powerful story from his own life. He says he comes from a tall family, but he's pretty sure he stunted his own growth because he wrestled for years. He was constantly cutting weight, essentially starving his body, right during those critical years of development. It's a perfect real-world example of lifestyle choices overriding genetic potential.
And this is where the advice gets really counterintuitive, because it pretty much flies in the face of conventional wisdom. We're often told, eat your whole grains, avoid red meat, right? But Dr. Berg's advice is the exact opposite. He says to avoid grains because of those zinc-blocking phytates, and to actually eat red meat because it's a fantastic source of that crucial zinc. It's a complete paradigm shift. Okay, enough about the problems. Let's get to the good stuff, the solution. This section is all about a clear, 5-step plan to tackle those blockers and get your growth engine firing on all cylinders. So here's the core game plan. Number 1, supplement wisely, especially with a trace mineral blend that has zinc. Number 2, support the pituitary gland itself. Number 3, make sleep your absolute priority. Seriously, this is when all the growth hormone magic actually happens. Number 4, ditch the grains to stop those phytates from blocking your zinc. And finally, number 5, make sure you're getting enough vitamin D, either from the sun or a good supplement.
Now, here's a fascinating twist. It's not just what you eat, but also when you eat. The source suggests intermittent fasting, so eating 2 or 3 big nutrient-packed meals and cutting out the snacks in between. And why would you do that? Because it can be a really powerful way to stimulate growth hormone. But let's be super clear. This is the opposite of starvation. This is about strategic eating to flood your body with nutrients at the right time. All right, let's bring this all home. After everything we've covered, what is the single most important idea to take away from all this?
It really all comes down to this. Your genetics might draw the map and set the final destination, but it's your lifestyle and your nutrition, the choices you make every day, that actually determine if you get there. The message here is one of empowerment.
You are in the driver's seat.
So, I'll leave you with a question to really think about. Now that you've seen the common blockers and the potential fixes, what's the #1 thing that might be holding you back? Is it the late nights, the sugary snacks? Take a second and think about the one single change you could make, starting today, to unlock your body's true potential.